Last autumn we had really good harvest of fresh homegrown tomatoes from the garden, and we froze the excess amounts that we got. So I'm just in the process of defrosting a couple of batches of those, and then we're going to make some homemade tomato soup. So to start off with, we need 1 onion. I've just took this straight from the garden, so I'll just give it a quick wash and then we'll get this cut nice and small. So we'll just cut this as fine as we can. In a pan, medium-low heat, a nice square of butter, and we'll let that melt. And then we'll get those onions put in. And we're just going to add about a teaspoon of garlic. And we're just going to cook these until they're translucent. And that's about right. We don't want to brown these onions. So next thing we want for this recipe is a medium carrot. I'm going to cut it up into really small pieces. If you grow your own veg, you've got most of this ingredients for this soup in your garden at the end of the season. So you can make your soup up and you can freeze it. So that's your carrots chopped into nice little pieces, and we're going to put these in a pan and bring them to a boil just to soften them. Meanwhile, the tomatoes are defrosting nicely, so we'll just help those along a little. So it looks like these tomatoes have pretty much defrosted now, so we'll just mash them a little. So we'll sieve them. And the way I do this is I'll pop them into this sieve over a big bowl, and then I'll just force the tomato sauce through. And by the time we've finished, we're just going to be left with pure tomato sauce. No skin, no seeds. And a few minutes later, you'll just be left with that. But in your bowl, you've got some really nice, pure tomato sauce. So what we're going to do next is we're going to add some of that sauce into a blender. And to that, we're going to add those onions that we cooked. And those carrots. And we'll get this all blended together. If you start making your own homemade soups with your own produce, one of these tools is going to be very useful to you. So now we can transfer this back to a pan and add in the rest. And we'll eat this back through on a medium heat. Now add a couple of tablespoons of tomato puree and a tablespoon of sugar. Get that all mixed in. Then 250 millilitres of vegetable stock. If you don't have vegetable stock, just use water. Now we'll add some salt. Do that to your own taste. And to give it a bit of warmth, add a teaspoon of paprika. And you can see it's a really lovely, rich red colour. And as that's coming up to temperature, we're just going to add in a little bit of butter. That's going to make your finished soup more silky. Now we'll just cover it and let it simmer for about 5 minutes to get up to temperature. So that's your homemade tomato soup all finished. You could add cream into this if you wanted to, but I think it's fine without it. I'll leave that part up to you. Let's get this served up into a bowl. And what you're left with is an amazing looking homemade tomato soup. And as an extra touch, you can add a little cream to it. And if you want to see what other recipes we do in the future, then please just hit that subscribe button, press that notifications bell, and we'll see you on the next recipe. You all take care.